as with so much other stuff going on in this time period, we can see that a lot of what is happening here is actually needs to be seen through the prism of enslavement and expanding that enslavement system into the West. Now, the Southerners are terrified of the idea that that system might be slowly or gradually rescinded. This idea that if it's not allowed to expand, eventually it's going to die off. And we can talk a lot about the different ways that might happen. But we need to talk three different groups that are emerging at this time. One of the abolitionists. Abolitionists just say end slavery. There's no reason for it. It is a morally abhorrent, terrible thing. And abolitionists tend to be up in the North, and they are going to be fighting against those pro-slavery people. And then there's free soilers. And the free soilers are essentially arguing that slavery should not be allowed to expand into the West. And we talked in a previous video, this isn't because of any moral certitude. It's because the white population that's moving in the West doesn't want to have to compete with slave labor out in that territory. And then there's the pro-slavery groups, and that's pretty obvious what they're for. And around 1835, abolitionist groups start to organize, and they start sending pamphlets into the South. And because in this antebellum period, there's a fear that the North is gaining so much political power that the slave system might actually be eliminated, the Southern pro-slavery people see this as a threat. And they actually break into the federal post offices and start burning all of the abolitionist material. There is some argument from the Northerners and the abolitionists and even the free soilers that the federal government should step in and stop this. And Jackson decides just kind of to ignore it. And in response, the abolitionists actually pick up their efforts. They send even more in there. Not only that, they also start sending abolitionist materials to people in Congress. And every once in a while, they try to raise the issue in Congress, which is going to lead to something called the Gag Rule. Now, this is a parliamentary strategy where the congressional people just kind of avoid talking about the main issue of the day, which was the expansion of slavery into the West. There are ways around it, and eventually they do talk about it, but they were trying to hide the issue as much as possible because they knew that it was the main important topic of the day.